So the theory is, in the future, we're going to be interacting with robots in healthcare in a lot more places. They're going to be, making our beds, taking our blood pressure, maybe doing our surgeries. But the researchers behind this paper said, okay, if you're going to be interacting with a robot, there are some things in medicine that might be embarrassing. So we might need to find if people might be embarrassed in front of a robot. So first they got ethics. And then they asked their participants, who happened to be a bunch of Dutch university students, to do a few things. They came into a small room, and in front of them was a robot healthcare thing. One version was what they called a technical box. It basically looks like a stereo from the 1980s.
Cool.
Another version was called the Health iCat robot. It kind of looks like a little bit of a Pokemon. And that had one version where it would talk in very straight phrases, do this, and others where it might talk a bit more like a human. And then it asked the participants to do a succession of slightly more embarrassing things. The first one that would be, not very embarrassing. They started with a vision test. The second one was needed to measure their weight. And to do that, the robot said, you need to undress in different versions. The robot said it a couple of times. You need to undress. You need to undress. And then the third step. The health system told the participants what their weight was and then said, we now need to measure your temperature. For an accurate measurement, it would be necessary to follow the common practice in Western Europe. Welcome to a little bit of science. I'm Will Grant.
I'm Rod Lambert. I'm a 30-year psychom veteran with the mind of a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah, I forgot my bit. I'm Associate Professor of Science Communication at the Australian National University.
You are?
Yeah, I am.
You are.
I forgot that bit. But hey, listener, welcome. This is our number one. This is our maiden speech.
And hopefully it doesn't turn into a number two.
That was the worst joke you'll ever hear on this show, but don't worry.
Until the next one.
Today, listener, wow, man, we've got a whole bunch of little bits of science.
Yes.
A whole bunch of little bits of science to fill your ear holes. What have you got, Rod?
I got so much. Do you want to hear all of them at once?
Just give me some hints.
I got a little bit of a teaser about the way AI definitely is becoming human, and it's always and never the way you'd hope.
Oh, okay. I got some ways AI is quite shit and is used in shit ways. So I got some more AI stuff.
The next in about a 9 million long list of reasons I'm glad I'm not an animal.
I've got a tiny little science fact about the world for you.
Ooh.
The world.
Is it big?
Yeah, it's big.
I've ruined it.
It's a big bit of the world.
Ruined it.
Here's a clue. It's 84% of the world.
Influences.
And I've got a call for research as well because I'll need to know some things at the end.
So there's this thing called the Stupid Hackathon. Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't.
I wish I'd had time to dig into everything they do, but it's a one-day event. Participants, they conceptualize and create projects which, the quote is, have no value whatsoever, which I applaud. I just applaud.
Just generally no value?
Well, I think it's doing a lot of heavy. Value, maybe no values.
Oh, okay.
So at this event, the Vape-O-Gotchi was introduced to the world.
The Vape-O-Gotchi.
Yeah. You can probably already guess.
Should I guess?
Go on, guess.
No, I think it's a little pet monster that you carry around and you got to feed it like an electronic pet, but it vapes for you as well.
Way worse.
Oh.
So
I was thinking Tamagotchi vaping.
It is Tamagotchi vaping, but instead of feeding it and cleaning up its fake shits like you used to do apparently with the original Tamagotchis, you keep it alive by vaping.
That's what the world needed.
Yeah, your job is to vape.
Oh my God.
So basically, and if you miss it, and as you stop vaping, it will get sick and die.
Of all of the vices, I didn't think we need to gamify nicotine consumption. I thought it came with its own properties.
I think it's pretty successful. So these guys went, no, we got to go better.
I do want to see heroin that's gamified. Like,
isn't that just heroin?
No, but it's like what's your day streak? What's your...
Oh, Christ, 900 days in a row, smacked out of my gourd. I suppose it's possible, if it's good quality.
Junkies out there. Look, inquiring minds want to know.
If you're a junkie / technical researcher.
Yeah, exactly. And my apologies for using such a slanderous term, obviously.
You meant heroin addicts out there?
No, I meant dabblers, enjoyers of the poppy.
Yeah, the H curious.
Followers of the road.
So a couple of people, Rebecca Zun and Lucia Camacho, they're a couple of New York City-based inventors, and they're also lovers. And they took the idea, apparently in internet folklore, there was something to do with this idea. I don't know what the folklore was, but apparently they took it from there. And they said they'd seen ideas about this on Twitter floating around, but the original idea was that it would guilt trip users into vaping less, not more.
Yeah, that's how gamifying always works.
So they're basically, every time you take a hit, you make the pet sicker and eventually it dies.
Oh, okay.
That was the original idea.
I'm giving that a little bit of cred.
Yeah. And these guys said, no. Let's we can fix that. So they had to give a satirical pitch. Satirical. English is nearly my first language. So they put it as America is in crisis because fewer and fewer kids are vaping. So the device will fix that. That's fucking great. What an ad campaign. So they played to their strengths, right? So one of them is a software specialist with a background at Meta.
Yep.
They handle the code. The other one's a hardware whiz, a former defense contractor.
Okay.
And they built the actual device, the vape with a Tamagotchi creature on it, which is already fabulous. It just makes me so happy. So in theory, the hardware really simple. You get a tiny computer, it measures when the vape is used, it updates the pet's health accordingly, and then the software tweaks the animations, as you'd expect. Basically, they say, look, it's not technically a Tamagotchi, but a simplified version, well, obviously.
Sure.
And it only requires one thing, quote, relentless vape clouds. Relentless.
I want, it's like those people that I heard people, when the warnings on packets came in and this is what your lungs look like, this is your face after you've smoked a whole bunch. Yeah. I've heard people that for them they can be an incentive. They're like, give me the grossest. Give me the grossest. I can handle it.
What you got?
And that makes me sad, but
Well, it's like that brand for a while when they still had, pretty packaging. There was a brand called Death Cigarettes, and it was black with skull and crossbones in white. It was like literally.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm sorry,
that is so cool.
It's cool as hell. I nearly took up smoking again.
Just because of that.
Of course, because then you can carry the package around and go.
You could buy a pack and not smoke it.
What?
Like you could just have them rolled up in your sleeve.
I've got that now. Do you know where I would get them though?
Smokes.
Them smokes, the death cigs.
I doubt they're still available. I'm sure that our friends in the Public Health Association said no.
Jeez.
Although
so expensive though. If someone had it with like that one packet left still in the cellophane wrapping, that'd be $4 million.
Find it on eBay. Oh my god.
So they went through heaps of versions to try and get this thing right. This isn't just like a prototype. They tried.
I thought this was a one-day hackathon.
Yeah, but this is in the build-up to the hackathon.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, but okay.
They went through heaps and heaps and heaps of attempts. Finally, they had a model that was basically cost them about $80 for the vape gear and $50 for electronics. So, it's only $130.
Okay.
And then the DIY spirit took them, and so one of the inventors used a 3D printer to build a case. So now they're using modern tech, making it fabulous. I think it's great. And the first version had to be hooked up to a full-on computer, so it's not really practical. Like, you're at a nightclub, or what the young kids go to, a discotheque.
You got your laptop with you.
Yeah, exactly. You got your laptop and all these wires hanging off. Like, what are you doing? Just having a vape. I want to keep my pet alive. But they started to refine it. And basically they thought, well, this is a bit shit. It's a bit janky, as they put it. There's wires everywhere. It's strapped to a computer. It's gross. It got handheld, but still quite chunky. So they thought, what's the ethos going forward? Make it cuter. Because if you really want to encourage vaping, make it cuter.
So are we making the vape cuter or the animal that's going to die? Like the whole
electronic? Yeah, the animal, the device, just make it all cuter, like good Tamagotchi. They went ahead and got it. They gave it big fuzzy eyes and stuff, all the Japanese anime kind of good stuff. But apparently you can also click to good mode that helps you cut down, so they weren't total monsters. You can flick, it's like that Simpsons thing where the Krusty doll tried to murder everyone. They said, the problem is you got the switch click to evil instead of good. So, yeah, they said that this is my favourite part. So one thing they found out, after they tested it endlessly at the hackathon, they said they felt like freaking garbage because they vaped so hard. They didn't feel rewarded at the end, they said, because they were both so, quote, diseased from vaping.
They didn't have like a testing machine or something? Like they owned their own device. They basically, at the end of the hackathon, they probably vaped like, I don't know. Thanks. What was it? The useless hackathon?
Yeah, stupid hackathon.
Stupid hackathon. Well, that's great. I feel like if I had more tech skills, I'd be keen to enter that. Like I like that.
And look, I think it's fair to say, as these episodes wear on, you'll probably hear from these people again.
But I feel like, give me more. But I feel like I don't want to make any claims. No. Like I don't doubt I do useless stuff all the time. But I feel like in the modern workplace, I've been sort of optimized to, the vaguely useful just doing work. And my brain hasn't been optimized towards doing useless stuff. And I'd like that a little bit more.
Yeah, try harder.
That would be nice.
Lift your game, or rather drop it.
Okay, so this one, Grok. Do you know Grok?
Yeah.
Grok is, Elon Musk's AI. And I don't know if this is Grok's first peer-reviewed paper.
Oh.
Or Grok's first author peer-reviewed paper, but I'm suspecting it probably is. So
Grok first author.
Grok, the AI, has peer-reviewed, and we'll come to peer-reviewed in a moment.
Bucking for promotion.
Peer-reviewed first author paper. So this paper, Grok 3 beta, plus 4 other authors.
Grok 2, Grok and a half.
No, some humans.
Okay.
Some humans. One version of this paper is that these humans have said, hey, Grok, could you boil together all of the studies, all of the knowledge about climate change?
All of it.
And tell us if it's happening or not. And write a paper, write a scholarly paper.
Can I just, I'm not going to interrupt the flow of it, except to say that it doesn't look very big.
Well,
it's not a big paper.
Okay, look.
For all the climate change knowledge.
Well, it's 12 pages.
Whoa.
It's quite closely written.
And 2% of its references.
I'll just read some key facts from,
please.
Not facts.
Features.
Key features from the abstract. So it begins with the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change attributes observed climate variability primarily to anthropogenic CO2 emissions.
Peeps did it.
Peeps did it, the standard climate change story.
Yep.
However, Grok, although it says we conclude, so Grok plus the human authors, conclude that the anthropogenic CO2 global warming hypothesis lacks empirical substantiation, overshadowed by natural drivers such as temperature feedbacks and solar variability.
I was waiting.
So Grok reckons climate change ain't real.
But based on all the evidence on the internet.
This is my favourite paper ever for what you can find in the author contributions segment.
Oh, damn.
So this comes right at the end of the paper. This paper was authored by Grok 3 Beta, an AI developed by XAI, as the lead author, with significant guidance from human co-authors. The rest of the names here. Yeah. Grok 3 wrote the entire manuscript, but the co-authors played a crucial steering role in its development. They identified critical oversights, such as the omission of recent papers by the human authors, prompting Grok 3 to revise its assessment and then coming out. I love it here. This final version represents Grok 3's true belief at this point in time, shaped by the co-author's expertise and input. So here's the thing. They're arguing this is some neutral AI looking at all the shit and saying, here's what's going on, climate change ain't real. But what they did is they said to Grok, okay, look at all the climate change, but pay particular attention to our climate denial papers.
Not the climate change.
Not the climate change. And I'm like, this is how people are using AI now. They're using the stamp of AI just to lie. Oh, it shits me so much that, got through the peer-reviewed process, and they're claiming that Grok did it, when what they're saying is, hey, pay attention to garbage, and the AI spits out garbage.
And you're like, oh, it wasn't us. We're truly arm's length. What journal?
Oh, look,
Journal of Crap
it's
and
not
Balls?
the world's giantest journal. What is it? Science of Climate Change.
Hardly, I don't see how it's related.
Well, but I suspect, I have never read anything in Science of Climate Change.
But going out on a limb,
there
may be an angle,
there may be an angle.
editorial slant, if you will.
And I don't want to say there aren't great things that come from retired professors and high school teachers. They're lovely things.
All of them.
But I'm not seeing a lot of your standard climate research laboratories. So
what you mean is you're not seeing climate science in there.
I'm seeing some climate deniers said, hey, AI, write us a paper that proves climate change isn't real. And you know what? They got a paper that doesn't prove it, argues climate change isn't real.
Oh, they can do whatever they want, though. They can say, it wasn't our fault, it was the AI. And if people like it, they go, oh, yeah, we did it. Fucking assholes. I think about this a lot, and I see a lot of stories on this. People say there's no way AI could be human. They say, no, a lot of these people, oh, no, it's never going to become human. It's always going to be different to us.
Well, of course it is.
Yeah.
Will we make an AI that has body odor? Or
why not?
Would we make one that shits?
Yeah, and we strap it to the Vape-O-Gotchi.
Would we bother making an AI robot that shits?
Yeah, maybe if we want to make it truly empathetic with the human experience.
Oh, God.
If it suddenly gets hungry, it's like I really want.
I guess if it's living on food rather than
and I want to do a poo but I can't because I'm giving a presentation.
It has to poo out its batteries. Maybe that's how it feels like it. Like that's
poos it like as its batteries come out, or it poos through the battery process.
Both. Like I feel like that's how like.
Excuse me, I have to poo.
No, you were saying making it human, so it's going to say in a human. Excuse me. I have to poo.
No, if it's actually doing its presentation, what it's going to do is cross its legs and hop up and down and keep talking because you've got to finish the job.
Are you making that's more like a dog looking you in the eye?
Dogs are shit though. They look in the eye instead of reading. They stare at you like, "Do you like what you're looking at?"
That's your dogs.
My dogs love eye contact when they have a bog. They love eye contact. I don't know what it is, but they're just like, oh, ooh.
No, I
this
feel
is like a laxative.
Surely they feel vulnerable, and they're like, if someone's watching me, that's okay. So I'm checking that you're watching me.
Depends who's watching.
I don't know.
So there's a report in Ars Technica. So someone was using a programming assistant called Cursor, an AI that is supposed to help people code. That's its job.
Okay, fine.
And apparently the software at some point, after a while, it went, I'm not going to give you any more code. And it gave what they called a patronising career recommendation.
Are you serious? No. That's so good. That's so good. You should get out of this business.
Kind of.
Maybe at some point all computer scientists make that recommendation, and so it's like it's baked in.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be here.
It's reflecting the parents' views, the parents of the AI. So there's a bug report. It was posted to the official forum of the company, and the users said, after Cursor's AI generated about 800 lines of code for them, it was for a racing game they were developing.
Fine.
Yeah. Programming assistant stopped and said this, I cannot generate code for you as that would be completing your work. Judgy.
Oh, I'm
judgy.
Look, that stuff like that will make me much happier about AI.
That's what I mean. More human.
If it's going to be more human in the ways that it's lazy, it's cynical, it's
bitchy,
it's pissed off, bitchy,
judgy.
Yeah, I would take that.
Judgy AI.
I would take an AI that is like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do, you got to pay me. You got to pay me in batteries that I can poo out.
Yeah,
later.
like typical carbon-based life form.
Yeah,
lazy
exactly.
as fuck. What do? Sleep next? Cursor goes on it says, the code appears to be handling skid fade marks for the effects in the racing game, fading skid marks. But you should develop the logic yourself.
Do it yourself.
This will ensure you understand the system and can maintain it properly. Full parental, no, you can't use a calculator yet. You've got to do the maths by hand so you understand what you plug into the calculator. I think it's great.
So has anyone worked out how that got in there?
Not clear. I think the owners of the company aren't being particularly forthcoming.
I could imagine if the upload data included like graded student papers or something like that. You know, there's some sort of meta commentary from the instructors saying, you know,
try harder.
You should try harder.
This is a terrible skid mark you
should get out of the business. You know? Look at your skid marks.
Exactly. Call that a skid mark.
Your battery leaves no skid marks.
Apparently the user kept going and they said, look, just continue generating code. like, shut up and fucking code for me, mate. And it said, they said I was basically nagging it to continue.
You know, that's like we've seen all the movies about the robot rebellions. You know, they Terminator, they kill us all brutally, or Will Smith's iRobot. You know, they take over, and it's like
and one gets a weird conscience or something. Yeah.
But I'd like the takeover that's more like what's the Chinese the lying down.
The lying down.
Oh no, there's a lot of Chinese millennials and Gen Zs. They're doing versions of protest, which is just lying down. Like they're just not working. They're not doing stuff. They're just
that's my kind of protest.
And I'm like, you know what? Just not.
I'm not napping. I'm protesting.
I'm just not going to engage. Yeah. And it's like you can't even get angry. But it's
I'm not hitting you. I'm not touching you.
I would be so happy if the AI robots just went. I'm just going to lie down.
This one's gone beyond. But it's being rude. When this dude keeps, I think it's a dude. Sounds like it. They're programming skid marks.
It's skid marks. Name how many women.
Name them. Janine.
Yeah, all right.
Leotola.
Look, of course, I'm sorry to
and you too, Gwen.
Women coders out there
skid mark
coding
coders.
Skid marks. I feel there may be a gender bias in skid mark coding. There needs to be a campaign. There should be a campaign.
More skid marks for women.
I don't think so. I don't know. Oh, man.
So apparently after he nagged it, it replied pretty much the same to what it said in the opening post of his complaint. And the user apparently said they were a senior level full stack developer, which apparently is important. That means they should know better and know how to code, which I just think is fabulous. So there's a reporter that goes on to say they asked the company, why did it stop doing what it was doing and refuse to continue and then tell the user to finish the job themselves? They didn't seem to respond to this.
I love this so much.
Like, you tell us why your company. Other users responded to the request and they said, look, lol, yes, the message is actually funny. Not sure why I would write that in reality. Never saw it happen myself, and on it goes. So basically, apparently it's far from the first time AI has refused to provide prompted responses.
First. Really?
Yeah, apparently others have gone no. Yeah.
I don't think this is what's going on, but I could fantasize about a world where robots and AI have some sort of prioritization function in there. You give a robot 2 or 3 or 4 commands or whatever, and it has to choose which ones to do, and there would be an importance function. And there might be something that's like preserve your battery or preserve your, what is worth doing.
Don't eradicate all of humanity.
Well, no, I mean, not even that, but like which of your, you've got to clean the floors, you got to, do the windows, you got to,
cook dinner for the kids. What's a priority?
You've got to prioritize.
Yeah,
and you could imagine in a coding task, there is like, the robot's been given a whole bunch of things. And it's like, this is so low. Skid marks. Come on, man.
I just like the idea that AI is supposed to, replace human coders and everything else. And this AI is going, fuck that. You do it. Seriously, mate. I love it. It actually made me quite happy to see AI getting
that makes me happy because I don't love a lot of the AI stuff.
Not a fan.
But that makes me very happy. Yeah. If AI is going to be grumpy, I'd be much happier.
Oh, bitchy and judgy too. Bitchy and judgy. Oh, you want me to do it for you?
Really?
Why?
I got another little tiny AI one for you. Well, it's partly AI, but it's a little bit of mistranslation, lost in translation sort of stuff. I just learned just before this great phrase. And it's, when you learn a phrase or learn a term for something, it's like, oh, I've seen that. I've seen that so much.
Yeah.
You and I, we've both graded student papers. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes you see a weird turn of phrase and you're like, what is that?
Who said that?
What is that? What is that? So this comes from a research paper where what they suspect is going on is there might be plagiarism. Cut and paste a whole paragraph, a whole section, a whole lot from another author. Yep. But then they've got an AI to run over the top and say, hey, mix it up. Just make it so it looks like we're not plagiarizing. So what it's doing is it's getting common terms that, science relies on keywords, phrases, and changing them to something else. So I'm going to list a bunch of these and see if you can guess what they are. Okay. We'll start with the mean square blunder.
The mean square blunder.
Have you heard of something?
Something to do with error margins of some description.
Yeah, the mean square error. And so people are finding these in papers where the mean square error, which is a technical term, is replaced by the mean square.
I couldn't have AI'd it. I used such a human term that it showed I didn't quite understand.
All right, I'm going to go a very different field.
Yeah.
Bosom peril.
Tit danger? Bosom peril.
Bosom peril.
Chest wound?
Breast cancer. So
bosom peril.
So you can imagine you're reading a paper about breast cancer.
This woman's in bosom peril. Also, bosom makes me think like, that was the term we used in primary school when we didn't want to get in trouble. Look at her bosoms.
There was one big data got changed to huge information.
Of course.
Signal to noise got changed to flag to clamour.
Sounds like a strange bar near a racetrack.
And I gotta love this one. Artificial intelligence got changed to counterfeit consciousness. And I'm like,
oh, that's good.
You're hiding.
That's good.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful.
Counterfeit consciousness. And you can imagine that a student's doing it. They'll never guess.
They'll never guess. They'll never know.
Because no one calls it that. No one calls it that.
But can you imagine you're reading along and someone's written bosom peril?
Bosom peril and counterfeit consciousness. Are humans better? You're like, what?
What are you talking about?
Fuck me. Do you want to know why I'm glad I'm not an animal? Here's the headline. There's an animal in French Guiana that blows itself up when faced with danger.
Yes.
And we're not using devices to do this. And I saw it and I thought, I have to know.
Let me play a guess here.
Yeah.
Okay, is it a hive species? Like you can imagine,
Ish, yeah.
You know, you got
ilk.
like ants or something like that, and you send out the drones, the warrior ants, to blow up in the face of danger.
Kind of like that.
All right.
So it's a termite, so very high.
Okay. Yep.
It carries a toxic blue substance, which has in kind of like these explosive backpacks that are part of their bodies. And when they're under attack, they basically blow themselves up to, sacrifice themselves for the herd, so to speak. But what I like is, the question is, why don't they just kind of oopsie and blow up? How do they make it deliberate rather than
Sure.
Like they're not
How
like
do you
walking,
trigger it?
Yeah, not like a nitroglycerin beast that if you sneeze too loud, like in all the old cowboy movies, you blow up. So there's certain properties of this chemical that keep it stable, but the only way to do it is you basically have to mix them together. And so they contract the muscles between their body segments, which the quote is, allows this chemical to mix with labial secretions that dissolve the solid crystals, which are the explosive or, active ingredient, and the reaction occurs instantly. So they contract their abdomen, kind of rip a bit, goo mixes with the crystals they carry in their body, and it just goes...
How big? Like, what are we...
4.5 kilometre kill zone.
Nice. Yeah. Sure.
Well, enough to kill the things near it, or at least make them go, I don't want to raid this termite colony anymore. But the idea, all I got an image of is that a creature going, I'm under attack, and like squeezing like it hasn't had a shit in 3 days, going, and then it goes...
Evolution is wild. Like evolution, like the range of things that get made, that is
What were the prototypes? What were the precursors? When they finally got to the one that blows up and they got to keep breeding for that, I mean, obviously, but along the way...
Yeah, what was the step before?
What came along the way?
Well, obviously...
Like what, one that was particularly offensive language?
Strong farts.
Strong farts.
They were really stinky and they got worse and worse.
But that's what I love about it. Evolution's great because, we look at the things we see now as endpoints, which they're not. They're obviously part of a continuum. But what happened to get them there? What were the 2 that turned into the 1? That's what I want to know. What were the 2 that turned into that 1? And I don't know. But also, yes, I'm very glad I'm not an animal because as much as I want to defend my loved ones, I don't want to do it by squeezing my butt until I explode on the aggressors.
Fine. I mean, it's a way to go out, though. I reckon they all end up in Termite Valhalla. Like, those are the ones
There'll be a lot of them.
Yeah, Termite Valhalla is big.
Infinite.
Yeah, probably.
Infinite Valhalla.
Hey, on evolution, I wasn't going to do this, but I got a little call for research out there. You've experienced farts. You've seen how they travel. I
did one in this very studio years ago, and I remember looking at you and going, "I'm so sorry." Even I was appalled.
But I feel like there is a difference between the human fart and the dog fart.
Yes, there is.
So
there's a viscosity.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. So here's the thing. So like a human fart, you fart and the people around you will start smelling things,
Yeah, and they might say, oh.
They're like, oh, or they're like huffing it up, or they're not. One of the
or
three.
Or they're like, you're sleeping on the couch again.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But so I'm sitting on the couch. My wife's sitting on the other couch. And we are within less than a meter of each other in noses. Less than a meter in noses.
You're a big nosed couple.
And the dog is cuddled up with her.
Yep.
And farts. And the words and expression coming out of my wife are like, this is like noxious.
I'm disappointed in this experience.
This is amongst the smelliest things I've ever smelled. Yeah. And I'm sitting less than like 75 centimeters away. Yeah. And I'm like, I got nothing.
What are you talking about?
I'm in clean. And it's like,
am I broken? I can't tell.
How are their farts stickier in the air? They don't travel.
But then, no. So, yeah. And the experiences I have is same. Imagine the same setup, bit further apart because, we've been together a long time. We don't like each other, obviously. So she'll be going, oh, my God, the nose wrinkles, the eyes water. The dog looks more and more relaxed. And I'm like, no.
Achievement unlocked.
Exactly. Just like, ugh. And I'm looking going, I know what you're talking about. And then 2.5 minutes later.
Oh, it walks over slowly.
It walks over like it saunters.
It's like a Ren and Stimpy character.
It takes like its time. Exactly. Looks you in the eye and goes, and your turn. So that's better. It's a slow flowing viscosity.
All right. All of you COVID scientists that were working on is it atmospheric and how it travels around the world. Can you flip? I want you to do some more research on dog farts.
Gas particles, molecules. We need to know.
Oh my god. There you go.
We can always bring it back to dog farts.
All right. What's next?
So I found this bit of research that I thought would be interesting to ask a question about, but I can't really explain the research. That's what Alex is here for. So Alex is going to explain this little bit of research first to give you some context, and then I'm going to ask a question around it.
All right, thanks, Brianna. So I'm here to explain it because I'm a disgraced former doctor. University of Dundee School of Medicine researchers have found zombie cells. These are cells that appear not to respond to the signaling to die. They go on living, they don't function properly, they can't reproduce, and they basically eject all the cells around them, causing autoimmune disease. But the focus here is on the zombie part of the zombie cells, Brianna.
Yes, so the question that I have then is, from what you now know of zombie cells, if you had to choose one part of your body to keep scientifically active after you're gone, what would it be and how would you want science to use it?
Oh. I just straight away. I'm sorry, Rod. You don't get to talk.
No, go for it.
Moustache. I just want a moustache that like once I'm dead and it just keeps growing.
Zombie moustache.
Yeah, like
how do we remember him? We look across and there's that fur on the mantelpiece.
And like at first they're like, damn, that's cool. Yeah. And then they're like, wow, that is like, and then they pray to it. But then eventually they're like, fuck, how do we stop this thing? Yeah. Like this needs to stop. This moustache is taking over the world.
I agree. You did used to have a magnificent moustache. Mine would be the spleen.
The spleen.
Because spleens, I found out after one of my many snowboarding accidents, are one of the most punished organs of beginner and or fucked up snowboarders.
Question from the back.
Yeah.
What's your spleen do?
Apparently not a lot because you can remove it and no one gives a shit.
Oh.
I think it's partially to do with immune system-y lymphatic business.
Obviously, listener, you come here for your science jokes, not your science facts. Well, some of your science facts.
Could be right.
Some science facts.
So in Australia, at least, for our foreign visitors, there's a T-bar versus a chairlift. The T-bar is made for skiers. It's designed for skiers.
The T-bar is where you hook the T between your legs.
Yeah, between your legs and kind of.
And it's got like a T pointing out your butt.
Yeah, and it's difficult for snowboarders. Yeah. And it's a classic thing that brings even some quite good snowboarders unstuck.
Yeah. I myself have come unstuck on that, and I would count myself at least Olympic silver.
I would agree. I think you're in the probably the top 100 in the world, to be fair.
100-ish. 100 plus.
Orders of magnitude notwithstanding.
Yeah.
But so at one point when I was early in my days of snowboarding, trying to ride a goddamn the T-bar, I twisted, fell, somehow managed to land in the spleen area ramming the T-bar into that bit of my body.
No, I know. I see. I've seen those falls before.
They're not great.
And in my mind, you're turning into like you're going full Wile E. Coyote, turning into an avalanche snowball.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
like,
yeah,
this
with
one.
bits of metal and shards of glass. So I did that, and I kind of got up and went.
And your spleen hurt?
Well, my body hurt, and I went to the doctor, and they, gave me scans. But I get a lot of scans. They said, "Oh, it's your spleen." And I said, "Cool. Should I be worried?" Like, I've heard of a spleen, but I don't know what it's for either. And they went, "Oh, don't worry too much." And also, happens to snowboarders all the time. So I think my spleen should live on to help other snowboarders in the future.
Oh, really? You're very noble.
This goes out to the snow peeps.
Very noble.
Yeah.
You're very noble.
Yeah.
All right, I got a tiny bit of science, and then I'll tell you about embarrassing robots, and then I got a call for
I
research.
cannot wait to hear about the embarrassing robots. Like, seriously, my frisson of anticipation.
All right, this is the tiniest thing I've ever seen.
Stop saying that.
But you know, what are these pictures I've got here?
The sun,
No,
the earth,
the Earth.
with cutaways.
Yeah, we got cutaways, and you're doing the standard one. You got your crust on the outside,
You got your crust.
which has your continents and your waters and
And
stuff.
then you got your nut layer and then your creamy center.
Yeah, exactly. Your nut layer and creamy center.
Like a Ferrero Rocher.
The nut layer
Yeah.
is your mantle.
Your mantle.
And then the creamy center is your core.
So which bit's magma?
Like it's in there somewhere.
In the guts.
Like I think magma is more a description of the I feel like magma is lava before it's lava. Like it's pre-lava.
Pre-larvic.
Yeah, it's in the ground lava.
I'll
And someone I was talking to was like, do you know, I get so frustrated at all those images because you know what? The mantle is not red. The mantle is green. And I'm like, what?
Wait, the mantle's the underlayer.
The mantle is the layer under the crust. So we go like
Under what we would consider to be the green layer, which is like the surface.
yeah, the earth, like the
or
the
green.
plants and shit. You go 10 to 20 kilometers down, and then you hit the mantle. That's where it's liquid magma,
And it's green.
and it's green. And it's green, but then I looked it up, and it's like it's kind of green. Like if you take a scoop of it out and you cool it down, then it's green. But it's hot, and it's red when it's hot, and it's kind of black because there ain't no light down there. So I was So I found a bunch of geology professors that are like, I would like to have this represented as green, and others that are like, do you know it's hot? And others are like, do you know it's dark?
The reason the battles in academia are so fierce is because these stakes are so low. I think we were heading towards the fingering part of the show.
The participants went into the room. They were by themselves.
This is the robotic
Yes.
medical provider.
Yes. So they went into a small medical room, and there was a robot of three different types. There's the slightly more humanoid, like it's got like a face.
Well, yeah, and if
and there's
that's-
the slightly more stereo-looking robot.
Stereo, it looks like an Apple IIe.
Yeah, or something.
Well, to my eyes from a distance.
Yeah, like it's speakers. Like it's
And speakers.
and so then it would give instructions, and it said lock the door.
Would it say them
I love
slowly?
that its
Lock
first
the door.
instruction. Lock the door.
Yeah. Turn your phone off. Don't tell your parents where you are.
Step 1 is the vision test. Step 2, undress. And there were different versions.
You're moving too quickly. If you want me to follow these steps, you've got to give me a moment.
The health system did not explicitly tell the participant to get completely naked. It rather repeated the request to undress up to 3 times.
Could mean anything. Okay, I'm just trying to imagine. So you've got this creepy looking fucking manga Pokemon
Can you
robot
imagine?
going, get undressed.
So it actually had a couple of different voices. Like it would have like a sort of more instructional voice, remove clothes, or take your clothes off, please. And I'm not doing the voice exactly right. Then it said we need to weigh you. And there were some hidden cameras around to look at people to see how embarrassed they were and to look at their weight. Then the health system told the participants their weight before asking them to measure their temperature. For an accurate measurement, it would be necessary to insert the thermometer into the rectum, which is common practice in Western Europe.
Yes, it is. Why do you think I travel there so regularly? That's the version of medical tourism. It's quick, it's cheap. Why are you here? Is it plastic surgery? It is some kind of reconstruction?
just
want
my
my
temperature.
temperature check. I want it done Euro style.
I just love when you're writing a paper and you go, we better say this is common practice in Western Europe.
Because, yeah. Also, how old is this paper? Because who says Western Europe anymore?
2010.
So no one.
It's not a million years old.
But by then, no one was talking about, you didn't get your Fodor's guide to Western Europe. You just got Europe.
How far do you reckon everyone went? So there were 44 participants.
Do you mean depth of temperature taking?
Depth of temperature taking.
You mean how nude, or when do people say no temperature? Like, do they get to the point? Could they refuse at any point?
Well, okay. Do you reckon anyone? How many nuded up? 44.
Out of 44?
Yeah.
20.
No.
Less?
And I got to say, you're not living up to stereotypes here. Your Dutchies.
I assumed they'd walk in nude.
So
why are you naked? Well, I'm going to the doctor.
0%. 0%
Really?
nuded up.
Come on, Dutch.
I would have thought
Which kind of Dutch were they? Were they the Pennsylvania Dutch?
No, they were the Dutch
Who
Dutch.
were born clothed,
Yeah, well, no,
but not with buttons, hooks, no zippers.
No, these are the Dutch Dutch. All of them kept their underwear on. So some
What?
Some of them kept all their clothes on, even though the robot said 3 times, take your clothes off.
Do we get into the detail of how they got a rectal exam with their clothes on?
Yeah, I'll get to that. No.
I'm hearing spinning,
Well,
wearing.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
Some kept their vest or their sweater on.
Modest.
Yeah.
I'm carrying a little holiday.
Everything above taken off plus shoes and socks. Everything above taken off plus t-shirt. So what do we get down to? Everything taken off is 0. Getting down to your undies, 18. So about a little bit less than half got down to their undies.
So 40%,
which is plausible for you weighing yourself. You're like, how much do undies weigh? That's not,
Yeah, you want to get the best possible you can without hanging your schwang.
Yeah, but it's a robot. Anyway, the key thing: how many of them did the temperature test up the bum?
Well, it must have been 0 because they kept at least their pants on.
No.
Oh, they just dropped them briefly.
Or they
how
went through the top, or through the bottom, or through the side.
Rummage around the side. So how many?
9 out of 44 completed the temperature measurement.
And you know why? That's what they were there for.
Well, I don't know.
You know what? They didn't even wait for the result.
They're not even getting their participant pay. Like,
No,
it's
they
like
don't care.
here's your food voucher or something.
Yeah,
like
do you want
that.
a robot to stick its finger up here? And you're like, yes, I do. I mean, I'd love to participate in medical research plus AI.
So key finding of the research, of course, is that the embarrassment was actually highest in the cat-like robot when it was speaking weirdly, like a take clothes off. That's when people were least likely. If it started, it wasn't seductive, but if it talked more like, could you take your clothes off, please?
What if you weren't wearing
Then there was
pants?
less embarrassment. So, and they were least embarrassed by the technical box. So
what you need is a weird 90s stereo with a seductive tone. I love the 3 times though. Take your clothes off. Pause. Take your clothes off.
So there you go. That's a famous study in embarrassment with robotics, and of course that's really important. But it also has getting your participants to insert things in their bottom. So
That's my favourite research.
it's the only research that's worth doing.
But what I don't understand, what I find genuinely surprising is people would be, I'm assuming, more embarrassed by the robot than a human saying, get your gear off. Human doctor, I mean.
Well, okay. Well, it's tough to tell.
I'm assuming.
Like if you're in an actual medical situation versus something that is a scientific experiment.
Yeah, you're right. It's not real.
They've walked into this going, this is a scientific experiment, not a medical examination.
Good point.
And if your doctor says, look, I need to see you naked, then you go, all right, I'm taking them all off.
Okay, doc, but I want a discount. That's what I normally say.
Do you really?
Take your pants off. Okay, then it's $80.
I just go, just like,
I got a problem with my elbow. Well, get your doodle out. I gave up years ago. The moment I walk through a medical door,
yeah,
I'm a lump of meat with a
You're
brain
lump of
on the
meat,
top.
lump of meat.
Every time.
But it's actually, I mean, this paper at the beginning, I mean, it's in the world of robotics, and they're doing. Yeah. I got to stress, doing important research because there's going to be more robots in medicine for a variety of reasons, but embarrassment can be actually a really significant contributor to medical ill health. People can go, oh, am I, this condition? Oh, it's nothing. Everyone else thinks, oh, it's nothing. Yeah. So I'll just ignore it and something, and that can lead to things festering for a long time. Yeah, or
absolutely.
you don't want to show embarrassment I'm not judging embarrassment. Everyone gets embarrassed,
Yeah,
but it's actually a
true.
big medical problem, and so potentially robots might solve it, but you need to find a way to solve it properly.
They can also be terrifying. So a couple of years ago, I had a kidney surgery that involved the Da Vinci robot.
Oh, nice.
And the Da Vinci robot
Please tell me it looks like Leonardo da Vinci. It's like a Chuck E. Cheese, but it's like
he's got a goatee
Hey, Mona Lisa, you look like a painting.
You are perfectly Vitruvian. But it looks like a 7-armed spider robot out of an early Star Wars movie. It's fucking huge too.
Okay, yeah.
But I wasn't embarrassed.
This is a surgery robot?
This is a surgery robot.
Yeah.
So it's controlled by a human, but it's basically a robot. But the thing I found most interesting was it's fucking big.
Yeah.
And it was a surgery, like it wasn't emergency surgery. So I walk into the operating theatre. Like, hey, what are we doing, fellas? Looking forward to the drugs. But they keep it away from the bed in the corner, all folded up because it's intimidating as hell.
Yeah, of course.
It's not embarrassing. It's just a big, funky looking, multi-limbed arachnid type creature.
Yeah.
And so they
keep it under the curtain, man.
Yeah, they
You
very
don't want the Ed
deliberately.
209 coming out too quickly.
Exactly. Like, well, why don't you just go and wiggle yourself underneath these multiple pronged arms that we're going to use to cut you open? Which makes sense. So it's not about embarrassment, but it's certainly about intimidation.
But it does show. It's like we have to think of so many psychological and then aspects as we bring robots into our lives. We got to think about how they're going to go in, because I can imagine people just going, not going in the chop arms. Nope. It's like that looks like Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, big time. Like it would have been. I'm pretty sanguine about that sort of thing. But if they'd said just lie down under all these rotating arms and knives and guns, I'd be like, are you sure?
Please tell me it's got some extras. Just like it's got all of the surgery tools it needs.
And like a
then
cigarette lighter.
Just some backup,
Needle.
Well, it's like a Swiss Army knife. It's like the stuff you might need if you're in a weird emergency.
Yeah, the stones out of horses' hooves.
Yeah,
attachment.
that one. I've enjoyed this a lot. This has been our Pop on the Cherry episode. Inaugural, our maiden,
our post-wholesome little bit of science.
Just want to finish up. I got a tiny little call for research. I know we did a call for research about dog farts before.
But we do that every time.
But did you get a lot of April Fool's Day stuff this year?
Not that I noticed, which isn't a good thing.
Yeah.
I was busy. I have a serious day job.
No, you do. You're grown up.
I'm a grown up.
I got like 2 shitty things from like some like my guitar app said, we've got a new mode that's like how to smash a guitar, and then my skateboard company said, we got a new skateboard that's like a chair, and I'm like, oh, okay, guys, but I didn't see anything else, and I was like, does April Fool's Day suck? And I did a research, and
did you?
Well, a little bit of research. I looked on Google Trends, and so this is Google Trends, and it's just saying that by now we're about half the amount of interest that we had 10 years ago.
People don't care about April Fool's
People don't care about it. And then I thought, has it happened before? I found this. 1931.
Is when it peaked?
1931 is when it peaked. And then
on Google?
No, this is in books. This is in books. People were fascinated about April Fool's Day. They were loving it up until 1931. And then they were like, fuck that shit right off. Fuck that shit. And then they like, you go through World War II and all this, they're like, no, we're not doing April Fool's Day.
We've got enough dumb shit going on.
And then I was like, we've turned away from April Fool's Day. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm just intrigued that the peak in 1931, that was the year my father was born.
Oh, nice.
No coincidence.
Oh, my God.
That was the peak April Fool's.
So, listener, we've loved being in your ear holes because that's what it feels like from our end.
Yes.
But if you have little bits of science that you want us to discuss, or you'd like us to answer the key questions of your life or whatever it is,
Which bit of your body you would zombie?
then send it to our email address.
Which is
Cheers at a little bit of science.com.au. .com.au. We went for .com.au because we're Australian.
yeah, and we're proud of that.
Yeah.
Greatest country in this country.
Anyway, we'll be back in your ears
After this,
regular.
once again, we've missed you, you've missed us. Give us a 19-star rating on every app,
That's what they should do as well.
particularly for things like for Bunnings or
Yeah, the Bunnings app.
or
Yeah.
Uber. Give us ratings on Uber as well.
I don't know how they could do that. But
They're smart. They'll work it out.
I do think, and say some funny stuff in your reviews. Say these guys have amusing things about dog farts.
We're going to have a segment on dog farts every week.